For the case study, I chose the company that managed the business of tractor components manufacturing and tractor final assembly. The company specializes in two slightly different businesses. The first is selling customized tractors. The customer order specifies customer requirements that influence on production technology and choice of components that must be used during production run. Specific and unique components with a very long purchase cycle must be procured separately. It would be a one-off purchase order that must be referred to the sales order where we have specified all customer requirements. The purchasing manager may confuse, lose, or skip the list of components, so we have to provide him all the information through the process and supply chain. The second business is making the tractor only in basic configurations. We'll apply to the make-to-stock production strategy for that business. The process starts from planned orders that are consolidated as the master production plan. Then production orders must be placed in accordance with the plan. All tractors produced go to the warehouse directly. And then a customer orders very basic configuration from the warehouse. I will start with the master data items, item variants, bills of materials, and then I will follow with sales order and production planning process. Both of them could be a source for placing production orders. Then I will get you through production and procurement operations. Let me show key catalogs related to material management. Go to a catalog called Item Kind. An item kind manages certain items with the same attributes. Here you have to define key supply and procurement planning, financial, and many other policies that will regulate all transactions with all items included in the item kind. Go to Additional Attributes tab. In item kind you are allowed to define additional attributes or item variants. On the left window you can see a list of additional attributes relevant to item kind. Additional attributes are arbitrary fields that can be added to the card and can have any data format such as Boolean, a list of predefined items, an integer value, a float value, a string, even a particular item, and many other types of the data format could be defined as the additional attributes. We have defined the engine as a simple additional attribute system object. Item variant is a flexible tool for mixing various types of additional attributes in one variant. Let me show you how to manage item variants to the tractor item kind. When creating a new item kind, you need to click on Variants and select Common to this item kind option. For the tractor item kind, we will define limited item variants that are available for the item kind that are not available for the combines item kind. Check it. Go to Additional Attributes tab. On the right window you can see a list of additional attributes relevant to the item variants of item kind. For Boolean options regarding power takeoff equipment, the leather interior options, other options, and the end of the list, the fields for certain order system from item catalog. Later you'll see how you can use this data in the bill of materials and production stages management. What else? I'd also like to tell you more about print templates. Go to the Name Template tab. In order to save time and to keep the style of naming of the item variant, we recommend to use corporate template settings. You can see that it looks like a formula, and user-friendly to make your own settings. There are a list of attributes available and a list of operators. Okay, let me create a new item variant. It looked like questionnaire. Tick checkboxes in accordance with your customer requirements. So what you need is tick all the options of your product. Choose audio system. Give the name of the product variant. Click Save and Close, and a new item variant is created. Take a look at the list of item variants already created. I don't think it's a good idea to create all variants of a tractor. It makes sense to stop at most popular variants or create them by real cases. It's important to say that the system has an active uniqueness control of new creating items variants before recording. So don't worry, the system lets you know if you are trying to create the existing element. Let me go to item catalog and create a new one by copying existing. We need to enter the name tractor DT 560. Here the picture that is attached by the user. Here are many other attributes filled out automatically. We see that engine power is a required field with a certain format of data to be entered. Enter 560 ph. Post and close. The next catalog is a bill of materials or bill of resources. In one's ERP, bills of resources is a mix of bills of materials and bills of work. It appears as a flexible template that creates production stages based on additional attributes of the item variant. Whether it requires to make a seat using leather or velour, or it requires to install a certain model of audio system, we need to know it and reflect in manufacturing technology. Bill of resources allows you to save your time managing all changes in it because you need to change only this one template. Take a look at the major equipment of a tractor. There are cab, engine, power transfer, control mechanism, undercarriage system, working and auxiliary equipment. At the same time, the undercarriage system consists of a track system and a frame. Let me go to production, bill of resources, and copy the existing one BOM and rename it. BOM includes the tab for main and side and intermediate products to be released, the tab for raw materials, internal and external work, components, semi-finished products, the tab for labor work performed and its cost, and the final tab is production process. I will start with the list of materials and work for consumption and methods of receiving resources. It depends on a certain variance of the finished product items. The leather would be chosen if item variant of the finished product includes true or yes in Boolean field. Velour would be chosen if it has false or no value. The next line is the audio system. It is exactly the item that was mentioned in the attributes of the item variant. So, instead of creating a number of BOMs, you only need to have a reference to the attributes of the item variant. And when you will generate production stages for the order, the system will automatically select the exact audio system. You may also see if the BOM in the BOM the lines of semi-finished products. In the first and the second lines in the material tab all those lines must be produced during different BOMs. The user needs to choose action, produce, and specify BOM. The ninth line on this slide on a screen, it is DT cab. Here it is a semi-finished product, and we need to get it during the final production stage. We expect to receive this material from the second stage and consume it in a final stage. Then look at the BOM tree. You can see all those equipment in hierarchical view or tree view. Here you can collapse or expand different levels on the product tree. At the top of the tree you can see the final product and its variants. Lower you can see the list of materials. The velour and audio system are components of a certain semi-finished product, cab. And quantity value is also available for analysis. Let's return to BOM. The Labor Cars tab is about general types of work performed by a production team member. It looks like an employee activity time consumption plan. Let me go to the Manufacturing Process tab, where the certain stages and their sequences must be defined. The sequence mode can be one by one or in parallel. We have 4 stages: assembling, often the carriage platform, cab assembling, control mechanism setting, and final assembly. In general, all semi-finished products we produce in the first stage and use them as materials in the latest one, assembly stage. Okay, what else? You may print the BOM out for approval or for informing your customer. It allows you to compare it with other BOMs or other version of this type of BOM. In order to make it easier to maintain BOM, you can organize your BOM as a tree of several supporting BOMs and use them for production semi-finished products. And all these semi-finished products produce within the production order. It is a one of production order management strategy. Due to this strategy, we have a long, comprehensive multi-stage production cycle from the raw materials to finished product. Couple words for another approach, the second one. The tractor can also be produced independently in different production orders. It is completely different production state management strategy when you weight components directly from the stock and only then plan production separately from assembling. Let me start with the first step of the make-to-order scenario. At the very beginning, we need to place a sales order. Sales order, create. Choose customer, company, terms of sales, choose warehouse and delivery method. Go to the Goods tab and specify the required shipment date. Then open the wizard and select items ordered. Then create an item variant with all parameters ordered by customer. Let's say he ordered the following products options. Great. Choosing the created one. Then we specify the quantity and the price, take into account all selected product options. Okay, move to the document and post it. Then, based on the sales order, we are directly placing the production order. All fields are filled out automatically. Here you can check it if the BOM has been selected correctly. Let me go to the link document form of another document. Here you'll see all previous and further transactions that are linked to the sales order. You can also get information about any of all past communication quotations issued to the client. Then you can get information about the production order and its production stages that were created based on sales order. The information about purchase order of unique and expensive raw materials and components that are procured separately for the sales order can also be shown here. The sales subsystem is the first source of the demand for production. Now we are turning to the second source of the demand, the planning subsystem. It is important to notice that companies also produce standard products and store them in the warehouse before sale. On operational planning level, such companies, instead of configuring unique customer orders, are compiling master production plans with limited numbers of specifications approved by sales and production executives for the very close planning period, traditionally starting from week to quarter, depending on production cycle duration. Go to the budgeting and planning, settings and catalogs, inventory planning scenarios. System supports multi-scenario planning. You can analyze several scenarios in the planning subsystem. The subsystem allows you to configure the flexible rules of plan data filling, for example, based on historic data from other scenarios, or you can derive from anywhere. Take a look at rules for sales forecast. This is a list of sources, period, filters. All those filters can be set really flexibly. You are also allowed to combine all these figures by formula. Let me open any other plan profile and see how it looks like. My today's scenario is not so sophisticated. As a result of the planning process, we have defined a number of items specified with BOMs for each planning period. For today, it's a master production schedule. Let me create it manually. Go to Budgeting and Planning, Production Plans, Create. Select Scenario, and then go to the Products tab. Some notes here. You are also allowed to import data from the external file or fill all tables manually. Open Wizard for selecting items. Find tractor basic configuration. Then set quantity 100 pieces. OK. Status confirmed. Post it. Open material demand for this plan and see the list and quantity required. Now we can use this plan for placing production orders. Open Workplace for generation productions or production orders according to the plan. Specify the scenario, types of plan, period, company. Click Next. To the order all the quantities, then create. Okay, done. Well done. Okay, now we have production orders placed. It doesn't matter if it's based on the sales order or based on production plans. We also have a reference BOM for the product in the production order. I'm going to open the workplace of a production dispatcher. Production order specifies an item and quantity to be manufactured. This is the custom-made order. This is a mass production order. Production stage is a transaction related to production order. It is base for production planning for operational management, for material supply management, for cost management of output products, and it performs many other functions. It has a lot of handy tools for managing different transactions. Now we need to generate production stages. Go to Order Structure and click Generate. Then clicking this button, it offers you to do other command in batch made. All of them are optional. You may skip them here and do them later. The very important option here is the first one. You can ask system to check if semi-finished items are in available stock right now. Use them and don't create stages for producing these semi-finished items. Generate. The system creates a tree of production stages using BOM data. You can open all production stages that have been generated in a background mode. Here you see production order, items, and quantity to be produced. To provide flexibility, the system allows you to change stages in this tree. Add new stage, add new resources. You're allowed to split and close the stage in some unhappy scenarios. Let's go to the production dispatcher workplace. It's called production order queue management. It helps to orchestrate all incoming production orders on an enterprise level, to plan or replan the enterprise production schedule, to track and to facilitate any issues in production that can influence the production schedule. The next step is production schedule. Let me show you how this scheduling workplace works. The running of the production schedule is a very sophisticated algorithm. It uses production data from production order, BOMs data, lead times of different types of resources supply, material, work centers and equipment. It calculates the fastest length of time for release of required products based on priority of production orders, real current availability of resources, and expected lead times of supply and expected availability of work centers. Then the closest possible release date compares with the delivery date. Let me check if we have set the planning backward option in your production order. Okay. Click Plan button. The planning tool allows you to calculate real schedule for execution as well as model scenario schedule with selected isolated assumption. Say, what if we are able to work 24 hours 7 days a week? What if we have all materials available in stock? What if we have unlimited work centers? And other options for analysis. It allows you to identify the precise place of bottleneck factor in order to find the effective corporate scale decision to meet the required date of production release. Click Plan. There is a result of calculation, production order schedule. It requires 22 days for execution if we take a real situation into account. The diagram also shows us the model or ideal schedule, and in comparison with the required by order, the model schedule would take 16 days in 24 hours 7-day assumption. Save the schedule. Return to production order queue management workplace. You will see the exact start and completion dates for each production stage of different production orders. Open Report Production Schedule. The schedule has three types of presentation for different uses. Take a look on the screen. This one shows the time slots loaded by shop floors. The second one is about sequence of products and semi-products release dates. And the third one is about exact equipment and employees' time slots occupied. Now, every production unit and work centers of enterprise know what, when, how much items they are going to produce for the near future, and which resources they need for each production stage. Then we transfer this schedule to the shop floor level to plan detailed operations in order to execute the enterprise master schedule. Let me open a stage dispatching workplace that is designed for shop floor managers. He is provided with the tools that help him to manage production stages, to release new stages, to move it forward by process, to show any issues in stage by icons, to see current dynamic updating status, or to print out a production job form. Once ERP provides different supply variants, make or buy options, stock replenishment, and so on. You are allowed to use material demand that is assigned to sales order, to production stage, or to line of business. The supply forecast workplace allows you to see in one place the cross-enterprise material demand and current state of supply. Here you can filter it by warehouse, manager, items, or find certain order you want to analyze. Here you see the demand triggered by particular production stages, material items, and its variants, units of measure, quantity, deadline, and place for supply, and other useful information. In general, this tool shows current state for tracking, but here you can see a button for reserving materials for the order. It makes sense only for some specific business scenarios. On this supply schedule, you'll see how gradually all these lines change their color, reflecting the supply process. Gray lines out of stocks, yellow stock is partially available, and green when stock is enough for order demand. Let me drill down to the production stage. All supply commands are located in the Supply tab. Here we specify an item, a quantity, a warehouse, the delivery date. Then the procurement manager would see all these items and quantity in the supply forecast workplace. Placing purchase orders can be done by two variants: advanced procurement strategy and emergency purchasing. In rare business cases, let me say one-off components procurement or emergency procurement, managers can create a purchase order manually or directly from the production stage. The main or happy scenario is when procurement manager orchestrates with purchase orders based on all sources of the demand on the enterprise level, such as sales orders, release production orders and stages, repair orders, and other external and internal sources. The solution for that is a workplace called generation of orders based on demand. It helps procurement managers to generate any kind of orders based on demand, as well as purchase orders. Procurement manager generates purchase lots due to supply methods. Using contracted supply terms, standard lead times, based on date required procurement time frames, matching them with suppliers. This scenario is based on the idea that we already have all contracts signed with our vendors, and this process is performed before placing our purchase orders. On the first page of Wizard, you'll need to specify criteria like warehouse, line of business, category, and so on, in order to filter demand for processing. On the second page, you need to add items and quantities to the basket and to allocate items by vendors. The result of the solution is a list of purchase orders in draft status. Then you need to fill in prices due to terms of purchase. Then to specify deadlines for the delivery. Save. Okay. Order fulfillment state dashboard shows us item lines on the production stages becoming green because we are expecting all items to be delivered soon. In a real-time mode, you can track the status of supply of the demand. To eliminate human factors in a case of procurement issues, once ERP notifies the production dispatcher and offers him to recalculate or update the production schedule. So that is how procurement system give immediate feedback into production system in a real-time manner. Let me skip the steps of purchase order processing, delivery note, payments. Due to the standard procure to pay process, we need to create a good receipt note if we are using warehouse management system, if not only a vendor invoice. Look at our picture of order fulfillment state dashboard. Now we see that our item lines of production stages became completely green because we already have all the materials available in our warehouse. The next part of the scenario is performing production operations and inventory movements. Let me drill down to the production stage. Here we see that these materials are ready to be shipped. Then we are asking the procurement manager to ship all these materials today. Okay, we're receiving the materials. Then we're consuming them and releasing finished products and creating a document transfer of products from production based on reference. On the labor tab, we can record time consumed by teams or employees. And then we are creating employee output for the period based on data from production stage, and calculate hourly paid labor cost that can be used as a salary for further process. When we have finished with the production stage, we need to close it. Let me show you warehouse reports as a result of transaction. Here we see all materials consumed, all finished products released. We finished with the main scenario. Now I'd like to stress on functionality that is very important for ERP class solutions in international business practice. I'm talking about Audit Trail requirements. Mistakes can be identified in the system after month closing. In this case, you are allowed only to create amending a transaction in order to track all important changes in the system data. You have two options for tracking changes. The first one allows you to reverse transactions completely. The second one allows you to post new one and post new values. You are allowed to make unlimited attempts to record these changes of the initial transaction. I will show you how it works in the system. This tool will help our customer to follow fast month close methodology. Accountants don't need to wait for original documents before month close date. They can record amended transactions in the next period. We are going to support this functionality for all businesses transactions. In today's release, our customers are able to track changes for more than 70 popular transactions. Most of them are financial documents, such as invoices, inventory consumptions, transfer of goods to production, release of finished products, and so on. Let me show how it works. Go to Master Data and Settings, Financial Result and Controlling, and tick checkbox for enabling track changes. Then go to Master Data and Settings, Users and Rights Settings, Period and Closing Dates, and set the date of blocking data, say previous day. In this case, no one can repost transactions from yesterday date or earlier. Please give access to change transactions in the past only for certain users, say period and accounting managers. Okay, how it works. Open any document, create based on its document, click Adjustment, change data, let's say price, and post it. Then take a look at register records. You see the reverse entry of initial data and posting of new data. Let me repeat the same steps. Create based on, click Adjustment, change data, quantity, and post it again. Let's look at register records. You see the reverse entry of initial data and posting of new data. Return to the initial document. You see here the list of adjustment documents. Then let me cancel the document by posting reverse transaction. Click Create based on, click Reverse transaction, and just post it. Let's look at register records, and you see the reverse entry only. That is everything that I wanted to share with you today. Thank you very much